Good evening. The Town Council meeting of Wednesday, November the 6th, 2019 is now hereby called to order. Roll call, please.
Councilman Brewer.
Here.
Councilman Fields. Councilwoman Miles. Councilwoman Neville.
Present.
Councilwoman Willis.
Here.
Vice Mayor Nickerson.
Here.
Mayor Wood.
Present. We have a quorum. Next on the agenda is a moment of silent prayer and reflection, and then we follow it by the Pledge of Allegiance. Amen. Please rise. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, next on the agenda is the adoption of the agenda. Are there any amendments to the agenda? Councilor?
Yes, Mayor, I'd like to move section 6B to work session.
Okay. Remove 6B. Okay, I'm going to add a B to replace it. The proclamation recognizing November 30th as Small Business Saturday. Any other adjustments to the agenda? Tell question? All right. Seeing none, I welcome a motion to approve the agenda as amended.
I move. Oh, gotta be recognized.
Motion to approve. The agenda is amended.
Second.
All right, the motion has been properly second. Any discussion? Seeing none, please call for the question. Who we waiting on? You didn't vote yet.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Thanks.
My bad.
All right, motion carries 6-0. All right, next on the agenda is the approval of the minutes for the October 15th council meeting.
So move.
It's been moved.
Second.
Second, any discussion on the minutes? Seeing none, call for the question, please. Okay, motion carries 6-0. All right, next on the agenda is our citizen comment period. On any matter that's not on the agenda, citizens may address the council for up to 3 minutes. Businesses will allow up to 5 minutes. Is there anyone signed up to speak?
Ed McLaughlin.
Okay, Mr. McLaughlin, the floor is yours.
The name is McLaughlin, and I live on South Main Street. This appearance won't be profound or climatic at all, but Tom and I just want to take the opportunity to thank all of you for what you give, with the effort and the result of all your efforts that you put out for us the last few weeks. It was a day that will remain with us for many, many years. We have the opportunity of meeting people we have known for a number of years but had not seen them. Even wound up meeting 2 new cousins I didn't know I had. But it's an honor that we accept with pride and with joy. It's one that we'll try to show our gratitude by trying to be an average good citizen. And I can't think of any way I can thank you more other than say thank you and God bless you. Appreciate everything that you've done. Thank you.
Thank you for that. Is anyone else signed up to speak tonight?
There's no one else signed up at this time.
Yep, sir. Help. Just give your name and organization, please.
Sure. Mr. Mayor, Vice Mayor, members of the council. My name's Larry Lucas. I'm with Colonial Downs, board member. I'd just like to thank the citizens of Dumfries for giving us a great victory yesterday of over 60% of the vote in favor of authorizing parimutuel wagering in the town of Dumfries. I'd like to just say that we believe that this is not a right, but a privilege, and we take this very seriously. We look forward to working with the council on a site selection in a very open and transparent manner. Just to give you a little bit of the philosophy of our company, is we're 20 years old. We've donated over 50 million in charitable contributions over the last 20 years, over 100,000 man hours of community service. And we're very excited to be here. We're very respectful and grateful for this opportunity. And if I could just kind of walk you through what a Rosie's looks like, it'll be somewhere between 10 and 15,000 square feet. Security, as you know, we ran a very thorough campaign. We learned a lot. And two of the things that really stuck out to us is people are concerned about traffic and safety. And we believe that, well, first of all, 1 out of every 5 employees will be dedicated to security. And our hours, our peak hours, well, we won't start until 10 o'clock in the morning, which is after the rush hour in the morning. And a majority of our customers come after 8 o'clock at night. So we really miss your 2 peak traffic periods. So I think we can address that. And in our other locations where we operate in Hampton, Richmond, Benton, and in New Kent County, we have found that there's 2 things that criminals don't like, and that's cameras and lots of lights. And we have both of those in those locations. And we believe that this will not only contribute, as in Benton, $600,000 in tax revenue, but we believe that we will work very hard to be a good neighbor here in Dumfries. And thank you for this opportunity. We are very grateful to be here. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there anybody else? Anyone else here wishing to speak that didn't sign into the agenda? All right. Seeing none, next on the agenda is presentation. A proclamation recognizing Alzheimer Wellness Month. Councilwoman Neville.
Thank you, Mayor. Whereas in 1983, President Ronald Reagan designated November as National Alzheimer's Awareness Month. And whereas Alzheimer's disease is a progressive brain disease that slowly deteriorates the brain cells, affecting one's reasoning skills and abilities to perform simple tasks, ultimately leading to memory loss. And Alzheimer's disease, which currently has no cure, is the 6th leading cause of death in adults age 18 or older in the United States. Whereas in Virginia, Alzheimer's cases are expected to reach 190,000 by year 2025, whereas nearly 50% of individuals with increased memory problems reported they had not discussed their symptoms with a healthcare provider, yet early and documented diagnosis, when coupled with access to care, planning services, leads to better outcomes for individuals with Alzheimer's disease, as well as their caregivers. And whereas caregivers and family members are crucial in maintaining a healthy quality of life for those battling Alzheimer's disease, whereas the town of Dumfries recognizes the importance of researchers and advocates who are bringing us closer to preventing this disease, and the importance of family members who devotedly look after their loved ones. And whereas the town of Dumfries desires to honor those we have lost too soon and to encourage research efforts that will ensure more people can live their lives with health and happiness. Now, therefore, be it proclaimed that the town of Dumfries recognizes November as National Alzheimer's Awareness Month.
All right. Next on the agenda is a proclamation recognizing November 30th as Small Business Saturday. I'll just read the proclamation. It says, whereas the town of Dumfries, Virginia celebrates our local small businesses, and whereas the contributions that make to our local economy and community, according to the United States Small Business Administration, there are 30.7 million small businesses in the United States. Excuse me. And they represent 99.7% of all firms with paid employees in the United States and are responsible for 64.9% of net new jobs created from 2000 to 2018. And whereas the small business employ 47.3% of employees in the private sector in the United States, whereas 94% of consumers in the United States value the contributions small businesses make in their community, and whereas 96% of consumers who plan to shop on Small Business Saturday said the day inspires them to go to small independently owned retailers or restaurants that they have not been to before or would not have otherwise. And whereas 92% of companies planning promotions on Small Business Saturday said the day helps their business stand out during the busy holiday shopping season. And whereas 59% of small business owners said Small Business Saturday contributes significantly to their holiday sales each year. And whereas Dumfries, Virginia supports our local businesses that create jobs, boost our local economy, and preserve our communities. Whereas advocacy groups, as well as public and private organizations across the country have endorsed the Saturday after Thanksgiving is Small Business Saturday. We now, therefore, as Mayor Derek R. Wood, Virginia, do hereby proclaim November 3rd, 2019 as Small Business Saturday. And we urge the residents of our communities and communities across the country to support small business and merchants on Small Business Saturday and throughout the year. All right. Next on the agenda is Mayor and council member comments. Councilman Brewer. Councilman Brewer. No comment. All right. Councilman Phillips. Okay. Council Lady Willis.
Good evening, everybody. I'd like to take a minute to congratulate all the winners of yesterday's election, especially our New Potomac District Supervisor, Andrea Bailey. I'd also like
All right. Where we at? Okay. Council Lady Miles. Let me just check these off.
Thank you, Mayor. I would like to thank all the voters who came out yesterday and cast your ballot. Thank you for making your voices heard and participating in the election. We did have a historic turnout, and history was made in Prince William County, so we appreciate you coming out and contributing to that. I echo Councilwoman Willis's congratulations to Andrea Bailey, our new Potomac District Supervisor. We're looking forward to working with her as our representative on the board, as well as the other members that were elected yesterday. I'd also like to wish everyone a happy Thanksgiving.
All right. Councilwoman Neville, please.
Thank you, Mayor. I'd like to say there's a lot of things to celebrate each month, but I do want to point out that it's Native American Heritage Month. We'll be following up on that during the work session. And it's also National Adoption Month. And National Adoption Day is November 23rd, and it will be recognized on that date, that Saturday, at the courthouse in Manassas. I also would like to congratulate all the newly elected officials as well as congratulate the candidates who may not have been seated this time, but were dedicated and put their families, their lives, everything on the line in an effort to step up and better serve their communities. And I'd like to encourage them to stay involved and to consider serving on boards, commissions. If anyone's watching this, we definitely have availabilities for you to serve the community here in town. And there are over 70 of those positions countywide, as well as statewide positions. I'd like to encourage others, as we are getting into the cold months, that there is a LEAP program it'll provide energy efficient opportunities at a very low cost. Actually, I think it's free based on your income, for any citizens or anyone watching who does not even live in town to be prepared for the cold months ahead. And finally, I would like to congratulate our own Councilman Fields on his retirement. Congratulations, Councilman Fields.
All right, Councilman Fields, do you have any comments tonight?
Yeah, I found it ready. Hey, thank you, Mayor, and thank you for giving me a little time to get myself situated. Thank you, Ms. Neville. Didn't really say retire from what? I retired from the Virginia Army National Guard with over 24 years of service a few weeks ago. I must say that is the greatest part-time job you could ever have, is being a guardsman, reservist, and serving your community, country, and the Commonwealth of Virginia. It's greatly appreciated. I love doing what I did for so many years, and I just love doing it. It is something to hold dear to your heart. I remember years ago when I deployed, how the town of Dumfries really supported me. And I can only thank you for your support over the years and me wearing that uniform. Greatly appreciate it. Also, as we know, yesterday was a great turnout, great election turnout. Expressing your vote mattered. It really mattered in Prince William County. Prince William County made history. Even Dumfries made history. You know, we have our new Board of Supervisors here, Ms. Bailey, for this area of the county, the Potomac District, which holds 2 towns in the Potomac District. And I'm assured by Ms. Bailey and the questions that I've asked before on the campaign trail, what are you going to do to listen to your towns that are in your district going forward? And she has assured us that she will listen and work with us here in this town so we can help Prince William move forward. All up and down the Route 1 corridor, those seats change in Prince William County. So we're greatly and very proud of that. That's only going to help Dumfries in the future. We have things coming up in the future. Of course, Thanksgiving is coming up. And Chief, we got to get, if not already, Christmas in Dumfries is coming. So I'm quite sure the Chief and Officer Torres will be, and myself, heavily involved in getting donations ready for that. Applications will be ready when, Chief? They're ready now? Okay. So contact the police department and/or send myself an email if you want to be a part of, or your kids want to be a recipient of Christmas in Dumfries. It's right around the corner. We got a lot of ground to make up real fast. So let's get on that. And Mayor, that's all I have for this evening.
Vice Mayor.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. A lot of what I want to say has already been said. So really quickly, congratulations to those elected officials yesterday. And as Councilwoman Neville said so eloquently, for those who also sought out seats that were not selected, don't allow that to deter you from your involvement. We still need you and we appreciate you. Congratulations to Councilman Fields on his retirement. We thank you for your service. How apropos that it is Veterans Month. And so thank you once again for your service, and for all those other veterans out there as well. We appreciate and salute you also. I wanted to congratulate the town staff and council on 2 awards that we received recently. We received the Platinum Award for HEAL, which is Healthy Eating and Living Award, which really just recognizes our town and our staff as a town that puts effort towards healthy living and eating. So when we take our stretch breaks, that counts toward that. And that's not something that we've always done as a council. So any little step you take toward healthy living and eating pays off. And also, congratulations with regard to the budget presentation. There have been a lot of comments and concerns about our budget. And so we have been recognized due to the great work of our recently hired town manager and the staff for the effort that was put into our budget presentation. So thank you very much for that as well. Please do continue to represent the town as you have been. Thank you.
Ditto all my colleagues up here. No, I want to say congratulations to the town of Dumfries, actually, for coming out, letting your voices be heard on election night. We have approximately 2,661 registered voters here in 2019. Of that, which 120 being inactive, 20 being military, and 4 being overseas. And I'm happy to report that we had close to 900 of them actually came out and voted last night, giving us roughly about 30% turnout, give or take, which is definitely an uptick in the amount of people that we normally have vote in one of these off years. And so that has been a great increase of community participation that we have seen compared to in the past years as far as turnout is concerned. And so I like to say to the community who actually showed up and let your voice be heard yesterday, give yourselves a round of applause. They what? I wanted to also give a hearty welcome aboard to the new staff members that have been recently hired. If you pick up a copy of the newsletter in our various locations online or here, you will see pictures of them. But in particular, I'm going to shout out our 2 new directors that we've hired. Director of Public Works, Mrs. Jonay Prevost White, and the Director of Planning and Community Development, Mr. William Capers III. And the police department has hired an administrative assistant, Ms. Tar Gillingham, and we have Lorena Harrells, a management analyst 1. So we want to welcome them aboard and let the staff know we have some new faces around the town that they can get an opportunity to check out. I want to ditto what the vice mayor just said and publicly congratulate the town manager and staff for putting in the work to create the current budget that has received the Distinguished Budget Presentation Award from the Government Finance Office Association. This is significant, but this is the first time in history that we get this. And typically when bodies of government apply for it, they don't generally get that the first time around. And so it took a lot of hard work, hours, and sweat. And I think when we hired him, he had about roughly about 30 days to put that together and make that. We're going to give him 30 days that he had to put that together. And so to get that award in that short period of time is a big deal. So if you can help me just give them a congratulatory so the staff can hear that. Yeah.
Very nice.
Yeah, this November, we want to highlight also, as we know, it is Veterans Month. We have a lot of patriotic events, but I want to highlight it's also Military Family Appreciation Month. Military Family Appreciation Month is a time set aside to recognize the military family. And those of us who've been in the military know what it's like to travel from locality to locality. And military families know what it means to serve. Every day they get up and support that service member. They stand by them during their long trainings and even their long deployments away from them. They know the risks, but they accept the life of service anyway. They know service is an honor. They're the backbone of our military, and they are quiet but steady fuel at home that keeps the fire burning. They keep track for their spouses, the military pay, the benefits, and news because they know that that's going to make a difference in their daily life. And when the time as an active serving family comes to an end, they support that veteran because service is just what military families do. And so please honor our military families this month too, and kind of recognize them. And this week across the country, we're also celebrating Veteran-Owned Business Month from November 4th to November the 8th. And if you want more information about how veteran-owned businesses are celebrated, how they connect and empower, you can actually go to the Small Business Administration website to learn more about Veteran-Owned Business Week. Special birthday shout out to all the United States Marines. Hoorah, Semper Fi. Ayut. November 10th is a big holiday for us as all Marines celebrate their birthday. November 10th, the Marines will be celebrating 244 years of service. And so happy birthday to all the Marines. Happy Veterans Day to all my fellow veterans who have served this country. And happy Thanksgiving towards the end of this month. And happy National Gratitude Month. I like Gratitude Month because gratitude, I think, is something we all can have. Gratitude is more than simply saying thank you. Gratitude's amazing powers have the ability to shift us from focusing on the negative to appreciating what's positive in our lives. Practicing daily gratitude gives us a deeper connection to ourselves, the world around us, and to our Creator. Everything in our life has the ability to improve when we are grateful. Research has even shown that gratitude can enhance our moods, decrease stress, and drastically improve our overall level of health and well-being. On average, grateful people tend to have fewer overall levels of stress-related illness and experience less depression and lower blood pressure. They're more physically fit. They're happier people. They have a higher income in the studies, more satisfying professional and personal relationships, and will be better liked amongst the people for having these attitudes of gratitude. It's even said that grateful kids are even more likely the ones to get A's in school. It's interesting. If everyone around here practiced gratitude, we could change ourselves and begin to change the entire planet at best for the better. Everyone would be much happier. So love would grow and hate would decrease, and the world would know true peace. So my monthly food for thought is gratitude turns what we have into enough. So what are you waiting for? Give gratitude a try. You'll be happier. You did. Some of my remarks for the night. All right. Next on your agenda is your board's planning, your boards and commissions. Planning commission have a report? No. Mr. West, the floor is yours.
Good evening, Mayor, Town Council, and ladies and gentlemen. This is an unofficial Planning Commission report, and let me explain, please. Upon arriving here on October the 7th for our regular Planning Commission meeting, I was waiting for some members to come in. However, there was a lady there that said she was on the Planning Commission. And I took her name, and then I got her address. Well, her address happens to be over close to Walmart. That's out of the town. So Katyana was there at the meeting to start the meeting, and then soon the town manager came in. So I took him aside and asked him about this. I said, I don't think she can be on the Planning Commission for the town of Dumfries since she lives out of the town. And he said something like this: I'm sure she's been vetted by the council and it's all right. So I went ahead with the meeting. And one of the main reasons was that I thought I had a quorum, but we had two members there from the AECOM consultants who are here to review or update the comprehensive plan. And there were Alexa Heinrich and John Bachman. So we had our work session, assuming that we did have an official work session meeting. And they gave a very good report. And as soon as that was over, I called the meeting to order for the regular session. And Katyana then informed me, says we can't have it because this person that came is not an official member. So that's my report, the unofficial report as it is. We do have a next meeting will be, I just got the word this evening on right before the town council meeting on November the 19th at 6 o'clock. However, I informed Mr. Capers that that's also a meeting time for the ARB, and he needs to check to see if there's any business to be conducted by the ARB because that would be their regular meeting. Thank you. Any questions?
No, thank you for your report, sir. Mr. Tabor is no longer here.
Capers.
Capers. Okay, got it. We trying to make sure we heard you. Yeah, man. All right, next on the agenda is our staff reports. So, town attorney, is there anything you'd like to highlight from your report that you submitted?
Mayor, Vice Mayor, you have my report before you. There's nothing out of the ordinary on the report. I will point out that the hearing that was scheduled for the November 1st for the treasurer's office for the one property that underwent the legal process for a tax sale did pay their taxes to the town and the county, and that property has been brought current, so that closes that out. If you have any questions on anything else, I'd be happy to answer them.
Council, any questions about the attorney's report? I got one question. You listed in your report about the treasurer's office that you were there was some property undergoing legal process for a tax sale in motion for distribution of funds for November the 1st.
Correct.
Yeah, what happened with that? Because today is
That's the one that I just mentioned. There was an order entered for distribution of funds, but before that order was entered, they did bring their taxes current. So they didn't end up owing the town when we went to court on November 1st. Prior to that date, they cleared up their account with the town.
okay. Any other questions, council? All right, seeing none. Next on the agenda is the town manager's report. Town manager's report is before you. Town manager, is there anything you'd like to highlight from your report?
Thank you, Mayor. I just want to also extend my thank yous to all of the staff for their diligent work for receiving the Distinguished Budget Presentation Award. This was a historic award for the town. Also, I wanted to note that you will see 2 updated reports for public safety as well as for permits and inspections. The formats of both of these reports have been updated. Hopefully, it provides the council with more clarity in terms of the workflow for our actual incidents, so the council can see how we are tracking in regards to crimes from last year as well as for the current calendar year. Also, with providing some more quantifiable information regarding our permits and inspections. Quantico Creek, wanted everyone to be aware that we are currently still working on our Quantico Creek restoration project. So many of you may see the work that is going on. That is your town tax dollars at work. We are working to restore the creek bed and improve the integrity of Quantico Creek. And so that should improve the value of the adjacent properties. That work will continue for the remaining of the fall, weather permitting. And then we will take a winter break for once temperatures reach a point where we're no longer able to work, and then we will pick that work back up in the spring. And we hope to have this phase of the restoration project completed by this time in 2020. Just also want to give the community an update on our comprehensive planning efforts. AECOM is our consultant that is working with the town to provide us with our 5-year update to our comprehensive plan. They are also helping us with our zoning code ordinance updates, and they are also working on our Main Street visioning project. We had a workshop at Dumfries Elementary last week on October 29th. We got some good feedback, It is not too late to provide feedback. We want to hear from as many people as possible. Resident comments will inform any of the updates to our comp plan and our zoning and any efforts on Main Street. So we want to make sure that we are as open and flexible to hear from everyone. We will have additional workshops and different additional opportunities to comment. However, if anyone is not able to make one of the workshops or come to a council meeting, you can find these documents on the town website and through our social media, and you can send any comments or questions to pio@dumfriesva.gov. I also want to share with the council that I had the opportunity to attend the International City Managers Association conference in Nashville last month. This is an annual conference and it's the largest for local government managers. So it was very good to be amongst my colleagues at that conference, and it was very educational. And so I believe that I've picked up a few strategies that would be beneficial for the town. So I'm looking forward to having some enhancements in the areas that I've listed. I also wanted to send a welcome to our new department heads. Ms. Jonae Prevost-White is our new Public Works Director. Mrs. White has over 15 years of public infrastructure experience. She joins us from the city of Richmond, where she managed the MS4 program. So she has extensive stormwater experience. She also has worked in her career as an assistant engineer over permits and inspections. So she has extensive experience in regarding permits and inspections as well. So we're just looking forward to all of the additional benefits that she will bring to the team. Also, I wanted to welcome Mr. William Capers. He is our new Director of Planning and Community Development. Mr. Capers has an extensive professional planning background in the public as well as the private sector. He specializes in transportation planning. So he will be instrumental in ensuring that we have the best planning and community development process. And he also will, as an added bonus, be able to assist us with our Route 1 widening project from his expertise in working with VDOT and with transportation related matters. The fall newsletter is out as of Monday. A copy has been placed on the dais for each of you. So there's a lot of good content, a lot of good information in that. We've made a lot of progress and seen a lot of good things happen in the last couple months. So the latest edition of the charter is available online and in print. Another update I just wanted to mention in regards to holidays. Yesterday was Election Day, so I want to send my thank yous to everyone that went out and voted. I also want to thank Councilwoman Neville and the Town Council for the progressive leadership of this body to close for a holiday the Town Hall for Election Day. And hopefully this is a trend that we see extend throughout the Commonwealth. The DMV Customer Service Center did remain open on yesterday. And one of the reasons why we decided to keep that open is because if you did not know, you can register to vote downstairs at our DMV Customer Service Center. So we thought that that was a good gesture for Election Day. So if anybody needs a place to register to vote, if they have not done so, you can do that at the DMV Customer Service Center. Another project update, the town's website. We are actively working to update the town's website. We're currently in our technical design phase with our contractor. And so we are planning to have a new town website by January of 2020. Just a couple reminders, real estate tax and vehicle license bills, if you have not received them, you will be receiving them shortly. Both of them are due on December the 5th. And so we look forward to getting prompt response from all the residents of the town on both of those items. That is all the updates that I had, highlights that I had, Mayor. Thank you.
Got the Christmas trees light up. We're gonna start down on this end. Councilman Fields.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mr. Rogers, last month during our public hearing, the one about the salary increases and so forth, there was one complaint that we had. Of course, that'll come out when something else is going on, but you might not hear from it any other time during the year. to point out the grasses and streets and things are not being cut or the upkeep of it and the beautification of our town. So can we address that issue since it was brought to us, but maybe no one else thought we were listening to them?
Certainly. I believe the areas in question have all been taken care of at this point. One of the things that I want to highlight for the community and for the council, since I've come on board, staff and I have worked to develop a map of the town. There have been many areas that the town was maintaining that was actually private property, and we are no longer able to do so. The main reason is that that's private property, and we don't have permission or access to maintain that property. So it's not about reducing service. It's about making sure that everyone is educated on who owns what. And if there's any areas in question, the town definitely will step in and take care of that. So I believe that we have, I'm confident that we've identified all those areas that were in question. And I believe that every area that was brought to our attention, we have since rectified.
Councilmember Willis.
One clarification on the conflict of interest, that the link that the clerk sent us, it says that we need to watch this by the 30th of November. Is it the 30th or the December 31st?
Town Clerk Dawn, can you help me with that one?
The actual deadline is December 31st. I asked that everybody do it by the end of November, just so that if I have to keep reminding. But I'll ask for a report at the end of November. And in December, if I haven't seen everybody listed, that's when I'll start sending reminders to you. We got to get this.
Great.
Because I don't want anybody to get any fines.
Oh,
Thank you, Dawn. And if anyone wants to do it here, we can facilitate that as well.
on the website update that it's going to go live on January 2020, do we have, or does the town have a process where, I know that we have who's going to be the person that updates the website? Is this Revised Software Systems? Is that the company that does it? Is there a person that's going to be here that does it? Is there a process where things are approved by you before they go forward and be put on the website? The only thing that I'm thinking of is this particular company or person or whoever getting inundated with lots of stuff that haven't been approved by the town manager to go on the website, and then everything, it just goes awry. Is there a process for that?
Absolutely. So the design team, they are working on the actual design. We will have built-in levels of access for what information can be changed on a regular basis. That will all be done at a department level. Just something simple like uploading an agenda for the Planning Commission. The Department of Community Development will have the ability to update something like that. Any larger scale changes would have to come through the Public Information Office, Town Clerk, and myself. So absolutely.
Okay, great. And one last thing, the incident crime summary that we have in our packet.
Yes.
I don't know whether my memory serves me correct or not. We were talking about this before, having, I believe it was this particular report, putting in there where in the town these incidences happen. Is there an ability to do that?
So this is still a work in progress.
Okay.
So we're trying to refine the way that we present data so that we can make we can make good decisions using the information that we have. So this was a start. So yes, we will get further enhancements for this report.
Okay, thank you.
Councilman Brewer.
Is our code enforcement person, is she certified yet?
To do code enforcement?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So she has her certification.
She is authorized to write tickets for code enforcement. Let me answer your question. She's authorized to write tickets for code enforcement, as is every other employee of the town. She is not a certified code enforcement officer. She is in the process of obtaining her certification.
So she has not received that yet. That's just all I wanted to know. Number two, why weren't these department heads, according to our ordinances, brought before council before they were hired?
When you say brought before council, what exactly do you mean?
Well, if you look at the ordinance, they have to be brought before council. Department heads do.
The code that I read says, neither the town council nor any of its members in any manner shall dictate the appointment or removal of any town administrative officials appointed by the town manager.
Well, I'll show you a different.
Okay.
All right. That's all I have.
Council Lady Mouse.
Thank you, Mayor. I just wanted to commend the town manager and the police department for the format of the incident and crime report. I definitely appreciate having some context. I know that we have had some concerns about public safety, and I was glad to know that overall crime has gone down in the town.
Yes.
So that's good to know, and it's good information for the citizens to have. And this is also available on our website with the agenda items.
Yes.
I know it's a work in progress, but it's a step in the right direction. So I just wanted to compliment y'all on that.
Thank you.
Vice Mayor.
I have a question about what some of the data that I'm looking at here. So what it seems to me is, so 2018 has a column, and say, for instance, in one area, it will say in 2018, there were 2 incidents. And then it will show in 2019, which I assume that is to date, since we're still, 2019 is not over.
January
So-
to September. Yes, ma'am.
So it's January to September?
Yes.
Okay, so then looking at the column that says 2019, if it said 1 in 18, and then it says, I'm sorry, if it said 2 in 18, then it says 1 in 19, it's showing a change of 50% reduction. But I also noticed there are some columns where it'll say the number 2 in 2018, the number 2 in 2019, and then the 0% change. So does that mean then there were 2 in 2018, and then there were 2 new incidents in 2019, and that's why there isn't a change? Help me understand that calculation.
It's inclusive. The number is inclusive. Right, Chief?
And 2 and 19.
Okay.
It's the same amount.
Okay. Okay, so then if one more incident were to happen, if there were 3 in 19, then it would show an increase then. Okay, thank you.
Thanks, Chief.
So therefore, homicides went up 100%. Whatever you said. Council Lady Willis.
I forgot to ask one more question. Lorena Harros,
Yes.
management analyst. I don't remember us having a management analyst. Can you explain what she does for us?
Yes, in the budget for when we did the budget, we had funding to support our financial operations and the segregation of duties.
Mhm.
So that's what that position is for. She also is picking up some of the duties that our summer intern started. They were so great that we kind of missed out on that. So she's also been picking up some of those duties as well.
Great, thank you.
So question on the finance. One, is there, if there's a retirement being planned, can council get an invitation to that for our treasurer, anything like that? I mean, she's I think the longest serving employee I think this town has seen, been here since she graduated high school. And 2, where are we at with the hiring process there?
So we're in we were trying to plan that. So as soon as we plan that and finalize that, we will share that information with council. Where we are with the hiring process, we have not identified a candidate yet. We are working diligently to do so. So I hope to have an update on that at the next council meeting.
So I guess at this point, if time runs out, are we going to look to extend?
Time won't run out.
You take time. All right. Okay. It's November. Councilman Fields, did you have something?
Yes, no question.
Okay. Councilman Fields.
One more thing. I'd like to thank you for the safety of the staff with those double doors from the hallway being locked since the everything is down in the DMV Select, because that concerned me and I never brought it up and it worried me. And then all of a sudden when everything went downstairs, it started to be locked. Thank you so much.
Yes, ma'am. And we've taken some additional measures that I'm happy to just share with you as well. Thank you.
So the other question from yesterday on the DMV Select, did we see an uptick in sales because people who voted actually went over there?
Yes, we did. And as we all know, typically DMVs see an influx at the first part of the month as people's registrations expire and tags and decals. So we did see good traffic yesterday with the elections happening across the parking lot.
And then I think my other comments you already addressed in your comments, which was how the public could make comments during the comprehensive plan. I think that was a great session. And as far as really giving the public an opportunity to weigh in on what they want Main Street to look like. You know, this isn't just our project, it's the community's project. And so I thought it was great for them to be able to listen to everybody. And I'm looking forward to seeing what feedback they bring in the next phase. All right, anybody else have anything else? Thank you. Next on the agenda is an introduction. What we at here? Yeah, we're good. Next on the agenda is the introduction ordinance to enact Chapter 27 Commercial Property Assess Clean Energy Financing Program.
Mayor, Vice Mayor, council members, this is just an introduction for today, and my request that a motion be made to schedule a public hearing for the town to be able to create Chapter 27 or Section 27, 1 through, it's the entire chapter. 27-1 through 27-8 of the code in order to enact a commercial property assessed clean energy financing program. That's in accordance with the enabling legislation enacted in July of 2015 by the legislature. And at this point, I'm just requesting that the town schedule a public hearing for the Clean Energy Act so that the town can create the program to facilitate loans so that our business owners can finance renewable energy in the town for their buildings.
Okay, council, any questions?
What's that? I believe so. Dawn could verify that. I believe November 19th is the date we're looking at for a public hearing for that. I saw it on.
Correction, it's December 3rd.
Oh, okay, yeah.
With a December 3rd public hearing? Okay. Seeing no discussion? Seeing motion?
Yes, Mayor, I'd like to make a motion that we move the ordinance to enact Chapter 27-1-27-8 Commercial Property Assess Clean Energy Financing Program to public hearing on December 3rd, 2019.
Okay, it's been motioned, it's been second. Any further discussion? Seeing none, cast your votes. Motion carries 7-0. All right, next on the agenda is a resolution to adopt the 2020 legislative agenda. Town Attorney.
Mayor, Vice Mayor, Town Council, I have gone back to the legislative agenda, attempted to make the changes that were requested by the council, and that is before you today. If there's anything that you would like to change or discuss on that, I welcome those comments at this time.
All right, council, any questions? Council Lady Neville.
Yes. Could you please direct me to the section that includes the power purchase agreement?
Which one is that?
So I had made a recommendation that we support increasing the power purchase from 50 to 500. And I don't see it. And it may be under a certain section. Maybe I just don't see it.
I don't believe that I did add that one. Do you recall discussing that one, Town Manager? I don't believe, to be honest, that one made it into my notes. The power purchase agreement from 50 to 500. I can add that.
Under which section? Will it go under environment?
Let's see. Page 39. I can do that. I can put that under the, on page 39. Add power purchase agreement increase from 50 to 500. Yes, ma'am. I apologize for that. And we will add that to the final version.
Okay, and I had specific language for that last meeting. That was the gist of it, but hopefully we can pull that up from the minutes.
I should be able to get that.
Okay.
Okay. Anything else? All right. Motion to adopt with the amendments? No, I'm just saying.
Second.
All right, it's been moved by Phil, second by Neville. Any further discussion? Seeing none, please cast your vote. Motion carries 6-0. Next on the agenda is a resolution to adopt Town Council 2020 meeting calendar. Town Manager.
Thank you, Mayor. At the last meeting, we presented the dates for the 2020 calendar. So now these dates are before us in the resolution to formally adopt.
I'm trying to remember for the month of September. Do we do it right after the kids go back to school, or did we wait an extra day this year? Yeah. How did we do it?
William changing their schedule to start before?
No. I think they're starting after Labor. They started before Labor Day. You're right. Kuna Matata.
Well, that's the Labor Day isn't before that.
Oh, Labor Day is the following week. Oh, okay.
It's the 31st.
All right. Just bring cake on that day. Okay. All right. So you're looking for a motion to adopt this?
Yes, sir.
All right.
Motion to adopt the meeting calendar.
It's been moved and second. All right. Seeing no further discussion, cast your vote. Motion carries 6-0. Next on the agenda is a resolution declaring a climate emergency. Councilwoman Neville.
Thank you, Mayor. I will go ahead and read the resolution. Whereas over the past century, global warming has triggered devastating changes to the Earth, such as accelerating the collapse of the West Antarctic ice sheet, the thawing of the Arctic permafrost, an increase in droughts, heat waves, forest fires, superstorms, flash flooding, the migration of insect-borne diseases, the melting of glaciers, coral bleaching, the mass extinction of species, ocean oxygen loss, and sea level rise, and also is contributing to human migration. And whereas global warming is caused by emissions of carbon dioxide, methane, and greenhouse gases into the atmosphere, primarily from burning fossil fuels, and carbon dioxide concentrations in the atmosphere reached 415 ppms, which is parts per million, on March 13th of this year, a level last reached roughly 3 million years ago, when global average temperatures and sea levels were significantly higher. Whereas today's carbon emission rates are likely unprecedented over the last 50 million years, and any amount of carbon over 350 ppm causes the Earth's temperature to rise. And whereas the acceleration of carbon into the atmosphere has increased at a faster rate in the last 100 years than prior centuries. And whereas 18 of the 19 warmest years on record for the planet have occurred since 2000, with extreme highs occurring around the world, including temperatures in the Arctic Ocean reaching 84 degrees Fahrenheit, whereas the consensus among scientists as described in the recent United Nations Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change report, that we must reduce carbon dioxide emissions by 45% from 2010 levels by no later than 2030. In just 11 years, and reach net zero around 2050 in order to stabilize a 1.5 Celsius temperature increase to have a chance at avoiding profound and disastrous impacts on global climate, ecosystems, and human societies. Whereas the costs of addressing this climate emergency are far less than the costs of not addressing the climate crisis. And solving the crisis will take significant public investment, education, commitment, and resolve. Whereas the town council adopted a sustainability resolution and asked the town manager to incorporate sustainable initiatives as part of revisions and updates to the town comprehensive plan, zoning ordinance, and Main Street master plan. Now therefore be it resolved, Town of Dumfries declares that a climate emergency threatens our town, our region, our commonwealth, our nation, civilization, humanity, and the natural world. Now therefore be it further resolved, the town council asks the town manager to incorporate climate change remedies as a part of sustainable initiatives.
What's your action?
I'd like to make a motion that the council accept the resolution declaring a climate emergency.
All right, it's been moved and properly second. All right, any questions? Vice Mayor? No questions, okay. All right, very well, call for the question. Cast your votes. Motion carries 6-0. All right, it's 8:05. Looking good. Yep, but I'm gonna read this part here first. Next meetings, there'll be a senior luncheon for all my seniors in the council that want to go and have lunch with them on today. A nice little Thanksgiving meal. That's November 15th at 12:30 p.m. down in our community center. Yeah. Yep, you guys should be able to afford to now with your big raises to take off a half a day and have lunch
It
with them.
doesn't take place until January.
No, February in the newspaper.
Oh, February?
Yeah, thank you. All right, council meeting, November 19th, 7 p.m. Administrative offices will be closed November 11th on Veterans Day, November 27th at 12:30 p.m., November 28th and 29th for Thanksgiving. All right, now, Vice Mayor, you want to read this in the closed session? My voice. You read that? Thank you.
Whereas the Dumfries Town Council desires to discuss a particular subject in closed session during the course of its meeting of November 6, 2019, and whereas the nature of the subject is the discussion of personal matters, the discussion of same in closed meeting is expressly permitted by Section 2.3-3711A1 of the Code of Virginia 1950 as amended. Now therefore be it resolved that the Town Council of Dumfries does hereby convene in closed session for the purposes herein expressed pursuant to the legal authorities herein recited. Motion to take a stretch break and then enter into closed session.
Second.
The motion has been second. Let's cast your votes. All right, motion carries 6-0. We'll convene at 8:20 promptly in the closed session.
Whereas the Town Council of Dumfries has completed its discussion in closed session and now desires to continue its meeting open session. And whereas each and every member of the said council who votes affirmatively for the adoption of this resolution does hereby certify that, to the best of his or her knowledge, only public business matters lawfully exempted from open session were heard, discussed, or considered during the closed session, and that the only subjects heard, discussed, or considered in said closed session were the matters identified in the resolution by which it was convened. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Town Council of Dumfries does hereby reconvene in open session and its meeting of November 6, 2019, and certifies that matters set forth in Section 2.3-3712D of the Code of Virginia, 1950, as amended. On a motion made by me.
Okay.
Second.
And second. Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, just show of hands. Aye. All opposed? Okay, the ayes have it, 7-0. All right, the action that we want to take coming out is we want to, we're going to make a motion to vote on the attorney's, renewing the attorney contract.
So moved.
In favor or against?
So moved that we approve the contract as reviewed.
Second.
All right, so it's been motioned that be approved to accept the contract as presented. All in favor? You want us to do it on the machine? Okay, we can do it by hands. That's easy. All in favor, say aye. Aye. All right, there it is, 7-0. Motion carries. At this point in the agenda, where we at? We came out of close. Oh, this meeting is now adjourned.